What a fascinating and apposite event this is. It couldn't come at a more critical time. Of course, to many, and this is nothing of what I say, by the way, is a criticism, it's an observation for all of us. To many, democracy is already dying. If you look around the world, people feel they've been badly led. We've lurched from crisis to crisis. The recent crisis, of course, was COVID. The crisis before that was the financial crisis. We have massive future crises, and there seemingly has been rather a lack of leadership, if you talk across the world, as I do frequently. Democracy has forced governments into short-term decisions because they stand for election every 4 or 5 years and cannot make long-term decisions because they have put themselves to the electorate. And we're going to see this in the energy crisis that's about to happen, where short-term decisions have been made where they need in energy to be a long-term. We've also failed to act as a democratic group of nations. We've allowed to sleep on our watch as China has inexorably developed, as Diva said, the One Belt, One Road program, has put massive investments in a lot of countries throughout the world, strategic positions, and we have not created funding that has challenged the Chinese endeavor. And to many, democracy has become a talking shop rather than a doing shop, if you'll excuse that language. So I think democracy is under great challenge before Ukraine. And Ukraine now has shaken it to the rafters. And the fallout will be very interesting to watch. I think nations believe that Russia would roll into Ukraine, that Ukraine would fall very quickly, but to everyone's surprise, perhaps not to the Ukrainians, they have fought like tigers and have repelled in some cases the Russian initiative and have demanded of the West and democratic nations support. And this support has been mixed for various self-interest reasons. And as I say, this is not a criticism, it is an observation. Countries do things for different reasons. But there has not clearly been a universal alignment in support of Ukraine. As we have seen, Britain, the United States, and France to a certain extent, and a number of European countries have been very vehement in their support, as have Australia, New Zealand, etc., Canada. But Germany has been slow to turn off the taps of its gas pipelines and its dependency on Russia for its energy. Clearly, Brazil, India, South Africa, Pakistan, and a number of other countries have decided that they're not going to, they're going to remain at best neutral, but in some ways more positive towards the Russian movement. And of course, China has continued its support of Russia. So I think this is a critical time. And at the end of it, we will almost certainly ask ourselves the questions is, what is the point of G7? What is the point of G20? What is the point of the United Nations? What is the point of the Commonwealth? And what is the point of democracy if, when democracy is trying to be overrun by an undemocratic nation, if we don't align to support it and uphold the democracy, the democratic principles, where does this world go? And it therefore begs the question is, who is going to uphold the rule of law and the rule of global law? Who is going to be the world's police force, which to date America have tended to be with the support of most democratic countries? And what is going to be the order that forms as a result of it? And of course, India plays a very, very pivotal role in this. It is the second most populated nation in the world. It is an innovative, entrepreneurial country, which is a democratic nation, but is going to have to come, as Mr. Deva said, to the forefront of some of these institutions and show real leadership if democracy is going to survive, and is going to have to support the democratic ideal in a more positive way than perhaps people may think. And as I say, this is not a criticism, this is just what people are thinking throughout the world. I personally do not have any argument with India, please, if you thought I did. So with that, and his rather hard-hitting words, I'm afraid the clock has ticked to a point where you can't throw hand grenades at me if I leave the room. But thank you so much for inviting me. It's been a really terrific to hear such erudite people speaking on this subject. And I'm sorry to perhaps be less erudite than them, but nonetheless state a case.
Please remember to subscribe to us and switch on the notifications for this channel. For our other social media links, more content, and to support our work, please visit citti.net. Dhanyavad. Namaskar.